through the main country pines. The headlights are cutting the dark yellow lines. The world is asleep and the silence is deep, and I got a promise I'm trying to keep. I reach for the dial and I turn it around, searching the static for some kind of sound. A preacher from Boston is talking of grace, a country band singing of some distant place. Then a late night talk show from way down in town, where lonely callers pouring it down. I don't know their names and I don't know their face, but their voices are warm in this cold cabin space. And it's dashboard dialect speaking to me, searching the static of the midnight sea. Just a voice in the dark from a tower somewhere to tell me I'm not the only one there. The signal is weak and the speaker is old, but it's keeping the night from getting too cold. I drive through the valleys where the signal goes thin, where the static rolls back and the silence wins. I sit in the quiet and wait for the crest to find the old transmitter heading out west. It's a strange kind of comfort, this radio thread, connecting the drivers who can't go to bed. And it's dashboard dialect speaking to me, searching the static of the midnight sea. Just a voice in the dark from a tower somewhere to tell me I'm not the only one there. The signal is weak and the speaker is old, but it's keeping the night from getting too cold. Maybe we're all just transmitters in space, sending our signals from some lonely place, hoping someone on the highway tonight is tuning their dial and catching the light, hoping the words that we throw in the air will find a warm cabin and stay with them there. And the dashboard dialect speaks through the gray, guiding my truck till the break of the day. A voice in the dark from a tower somewhere to tell me I'm not the only one there. The signal is weak and the speaker is old, but it's keeping the night from getting too cold. Stretching out for miles under a heavy grade. The radio is static, nothing left for them to say. I spent 5 years building walls that fell in half a day, and the ledger in my drawer says there is nothing left to pay. So I pointed the grill westward where the clouds are hanging low, looking at the yellow lines, watching where they go. The engine has a rhythm that can quiet down the mind, leaving all the broken plans and arguments behind. There's no one left to blame, just the open space ahead that doesn't care about my name. The wind is pushing hard against the driver's side door, and the rain is starting to settle on the valley floor. And it's yellow line fever, stretching out the night, staring at the division in the dim headlamp light. I don't need a map to tell me where I belong, just the hum of the rubber and the draft coming strong. It won't fix the trouble that I left in the east, but it gives me a moment of silence at least. I stop at a diner where the coffee tastes like tin. The waitress doesn't look at me when she lets me in. I sit by the window and watch the big rigs roll, each one carrying a heavy, silent load. I pay my $2 and I walk back to the truck, not looking for a miracle, not asking for luck. And it's yellow line fever, stretching out the night, staring at the division in the dim headlamp light. I don't need a map to tell me where I belong, just the hum of the rubber and the draft coming strong. It won't fix the trouble that I left in the east, but it gives me a moment of silence at least. They say a man who runs is only running from himself, but they never saw the dust that gathers on the shelf when you stay in one place when the air's gone cold and you watch your own spirit starting to grow old. So I'd rather be moving, even if I'm lost, paying every mile, not counting up the cost. With this yellow line fever, driving through the rain, washing off the dust in the shadow of the pain. I don't need the answers at the end of the line, just the space to breathe in this pocket of time. It won't fix the trouble that I left in the east, but it gives me a moment of silence at least. We planned this trip on a kitchen table mat, with a bag in the back and a camera in your lap. We were heading for the cliffs where the ocean meets the land, to stand in the wind and to hold each other's hand. But we stopped at a diner in a small mountain town, and we watched the rain come pouring down. The radiator hissed and the engine was hot, and we sat on the hood in the gravel parking lot. We were 50 miles short of the blue ocean bay, but we sat there in silence and had nothing to say. We realized the healing had already occurred in the miles we drove without saying a word. And the coastline we never reached is still out there wide, with the waves hitting rocks on the west countryside. But the road that we took was enough for the heart to mend all the pieces that were falling apart. Maybe the end of the road isn't where we belong. Maybe the journey was always a song. We turned the truck round when the morning was gray, and we drove back home the very same way. We didn't see the lighthouse or the sand on the beach, or the cold salt water that we wanted to reach. But we had a quiet peace in the cabin that day that the ocean could never have given away. And the coastline we never reached is still out there wide, with the waves hitting rocks on the west countryside. But the road that we took was enough for the heart to mend all the pieces that were falling apart. Maybe the end of the road isn't where we belong. Maybe the journey was always a song. We spent our whole lives chasing down the goal, to find the destination that will quiet the soul. But the road is a teacher that doesn't use books. It just changes your heart by the way that it looks. And the coast is still beautiful, standing alone, but we found our harbor before we got home. Yeah, the coastline we never reached is still out there wide, with the waves hitting rocks on the west countryside. But the road that we took was enough for the heart to mend all the pieces that were falling apart. Maybe the end of the road isn't where we belong. Maybe the journey was always a song. The mist is rising from the lake in the east, and the wind in the rushes has officially ceased. I'm sitting on the dock with my old fishing rod, in the quietest place on this piece of sod. I open the tackle box, looking for a hook, in the corner drawer where I never look. Right next to the lures and the lead weights of lead is a simple brass ring on a piece of red thread. I bought it last winter in a small antique store, with no fancy box and no gold on the floor. I wanted to give it when the timing was right, with no crowd around us and no fancy light. And the ring has been sitting in the tackle box drawer, waiting for the day that we shut the wood door. We don't need a church or a big fancy crowd to make a promise that we shout out loud. Just the lake at the sunrise, the wind and the pine, and your hand held together, resting in mine. I hear your footsteps on the gravel path, walking down slow to the end of the dock. You're wearing my jacket, the sleeves are too long, and you sit down beside me. As the light gets strong, I reach in the box and I pull out the thread, with the brass ring hanging where the sun turns red. And the ring has been sitting in the tackle box drawer, waiting for the day that we shut the wood door. We don't need a church or a big fancy crowd to make a promise that we shout out loud. Just the lake at the sunrise, the wind and the pine, and your hand held together, resting in mine. They say that a marriage needs a big show of gold to make it a promise that will never grow cold. But I think the promise is the life that you share in the quietest mornings when nobody is there. just the work of the hands and the trust of the heart, that no storm in the valley can tear us apart. So I slide the brass ring on your finger today, with the lake looking golden and the sky turning gray. We don't need a church or a big fancy crowd to make a promise that we shout out loud. Just the lake at the sunrise, the wind in the pine, and your hand held together, resting in mine. We left the party at the end of the town, with all the loud voices and the drinks going down. They were talking of projects and money and fame, and putting a price on every single name. We said our goodbyes and we walked to the truck, leaving behind all the chatter and luck. Now we're out on the bypass under the dark pines, with the headlights showing the white highway lines. You haven't said a word since we started the drive, and I haven't spoken since we hit 35. But there's no tension in this cabin space, just the light of the dashboard on your quiet face. And we're driving home in silence tonight, 2 lanes of asphalt in the headlamp light. The world was so loud, but we shut the wood door, and we don't have to talk about it anymore. Our silence is warm, our silence is deep, a quiet sanctuary that we get to keep. Your hand is resting on the seat in between, and I reach out to touch it in the light that is green. You give me a squeeze, then you look at the road, and I feel the release of a heavy old load. We don't need to discuss what we saw or we heard. We understand everything without a word. And we're driving home in silence tonight, 2 lanes of asphalt in the headlamp light. The world was so loud, but we shut the wood door, and we don't have to talk about it anymore. Our silence is warm, our silence is deep, a quiet sanctuary that we get to keep. They think that a silence is a sign of a crack, of a love that is fading and not coming back. But they don't know the peace of a mind at rest, with the person who knows you the truest and best, who doesn't need words to fill up the air, to know that the love is still standing right there. So we keep up the drive through the dark and the cold, with a quiet agreement that never grows old. The world is so loud, but we shut the wood door, and we don't have to talk about it anymore. Our silence is warm, our silence is deep, a quiet sanctuary that we get to keep. valley was dead, too rocky and dry for a green flower bed. They said we should pack up and move to the west, where the land is all easy and the water is best. But we had our shovel and we had our spade, and we had the promise that we both had made. So we spent the spring clearing the stones from the dirt, with calloused old hands and a back full of hurt. We carried the water from the creek at the bend, wondering if the dry season would ever end. We planted the seeds in the hard yellow clay, and we prayed for the clouds to come look our way. And it's a garden in the clay, growing so slow through the rocks and the weeds that are trying to grow. It ain't the easiest land in the state, but we choose to stay and we choose to wait. Love isn't the soil that you find on the ground, it's the work that you do when you stick around. I look out the window and I see the green shoots pushing through the rocks, finding their roots. You're out in the garden with dirt on your sleeve, smiling at the things that we had to achieve. It's a small patch of green in a valley of stone, but it's the most beautiful home that I've known. And it's a garden in the clay, growing so slow through the rocks and the weeds that are trying to grow. It ain't the easiest land in the state, but we choose to stay and we choose to wait. Love isn't the soil that you find on the ground, it's the work that you do when you stick around. When the weather is fair and the grass is all green and the water is there, but the root that grows deep is the one that must fight through the clay and the cold of the winter night. We dug this together, we watered the seed, and we got each other, and that's all we need. Yeah! Starting to bloom under the sky with its wide open room. It ain't the easiest land in the state, but we chose to stay and we chose to wait. Love isn't the soil that you find on the ground, it's the work that you do when you stick around. It's 10 p.m. and the wind is coming cold from the hill. The rain is hitting the tin roof loud and steady and chill. I'm sitting out on the wood step with a blanket on my knees, watching the water drip down from the maple trees. You went out for a long drive, said you needed to think, to stand at the edge of the world where the shadows sink. I don't know the words that will cure the weight in your chest, or the things that you carry when you cannot get any rest. We've had our long winters, we've had our share of the pain, and sometimes there's nothing to do but sit through the rain. So I left the gold bowl burning on the old cedar post, to guide you back through the dark when you're chasing your ghost. And the porch light is burning through the gray and the wet, a small yellow beacon that hasn't given up yet. I won't ask you to talk, I won't ask you to explain why your heart is as heavy as this October rain. I'll just leave the door open, keeping the kitchen fire warm, standing by the porch light, waiting out the storm. I see your headlights coming slow down the gravel road, splitting the dark where the pine trees are starting to bend under the load. You pull up to the driveway, the engine cuts with a sigh. You sit in the cab in a minute, watching the rain go by. Then you step out into the gravel, head low in the damp, and you look at the yellow glow of our old porch lamp. And the porch light is burning through the gray and the wet, a small yellow beacon that hasn't given up yet. I won't ask you to talk, I won't ask you to explain why your heart is as heavy as this October rain. I'll just leave the door open, keeping the kitchen fire warm, standing by the porch light, waiting out the storm. They say that love is a fire that burns up the wood in a flash, but I think it's the cold that remains when the flame turns to ash. It's the patience to sit in the dark while the other one heals, not trying to change how the heavy spirit feels, just holding the space, letting the storm run its course, a quiet, unbreakable force. And the porch light is burning as you walk up the wood. I don't need to ask if the driving did you any good. I just open the screen door and reach for your cold, wet hand. We don't need the words for either of us to understand. The light is still burning, the kitchen is quiet and warm, standing together. We made it through the storm. Morning sun is hitting the frost on the pane, casting long white shadows of the winter lane. I turn to my left where you usually lie, but you're curled in a ball with your face from the sky. The blanket is pulled up over your head, and the cold has settled on your side of the bed. I know there are days when the dark is too deep, when there isn't a promise that your spirit can keep, when the weight of the morning is too much to face, and you feel like a stranger in your own home place. I won't pull the covers, I won't tell you to rise, I won't ask for the light in your green winter eyes, but I'll lie right beside you on the cold side of the bed, and I'll hold all the worries that you haven't said. If you can't find the warmth, I will share what I got, even if it's just this one quiet spot. I'll stay till the winter's ready to turn, and the fire in your fireplace is ready to burn. I hear the wind howling through the old oak bring in the snow from the northern sea. The world wants you moving, the world wants you strong, but the world doesn't know how the winter is long. So I'll be your anchor, I'll be a stone to keep you from drifting out into the unknown. And I'll lie right beside you on the cold side of the bed, and I'll hold all the worries that you haven't said. If you can't find the warmth, I will share what I got, even if it's just this one quiet spot. I'll stay till the winter is ready to turn, and the fire in your fireplace is ready to burn. Love isn't only the sun in the spring, or the easy green fields and the birds when they sing. It's the cold morning blankets, the frost on the wood, the promise to stay when the staying ain't good. I'm not going anywhere, I'm right by your side, with the door locked tight from the storm outside. So sleep if you need to, I'll watch the gray sky, and I'll hold you until the dark clouds roll by. I'm keeping the cold from reaching your chest, and I'm giving you room for your spirit to rest. I'm right here beside you, I'm not gonna flee from the cold side of the bed where you're hiding from me. There's an old paper map that we marked with a pen, and a paper cup sitting where your hand should have been. The Blue Ridge is burning in orange and red, and I'm driving the highway where the leaves are shed. I look to the right where you used to sit, and the sun hits the leather where the shadows split. We talked about driving this road in the fall, when the summer was gone and the mountain would call. Now the autumn is here and the colors are bright, but I'm watching the sunset alone in the night. It's a beautiful view stretching out to the west, but it's heavy to hold it alone in my chest. And the passenger seat is just holding the dust, and the map that we drew is beginning to rust. But the mountains are standing in the golden hour light, and the sky is a canvas of purple and white. And I'm learning to see that the world is still fair, even if you aren't sitting beside me there. I stopped at the overlook we talked about before all our fire slowly burned itself out. A couple was taking a picture nearby, with their hands held together under the sky. I smiled for a moment, then looked at the view, and I didn't feel angry and I didn't feel blue, though the passenger seat is just holding the dust, and the map that we drew is beginning to into rust. But the mountains are standing in the golden hour light, and the sky is a canvas of purple and white. And I'm learning to see that the world is still fair, even if you aren't sitting beside me there. The beauty of things doesn't fade into gray just because one of the watchers has gone away. The trees still turn gold and the rivers still run, and the earth still rolls round to the light of the sun. And I'm grateful I saw it with you for a start, but I'm keeping the rest of the road in my heart. And the passenger seat's just holding the dust, and the map that we drew is beginning to rust. But the mountains are standing in the golden hour light, and the sky is a canvas of purple and white. And I'm learning to see that the world is still fair, even if you aren't sitting beside me there. I was looking for some tape in the roll-top desk, in the drawer at the bottom where the letters rest. I found an old envelope, yellow and worn, with the corner of the paper slightly creaked and torn. It was addressed to a name that I never have heard, written in your hand, but I didn't read a word. I put it back down and I closed the wood drawer, and I sat in the quiet on the study floor. I know you had a life before you met me, with storms on the water of your own private sea. You carry some scars that you don't like to show, and there are some secrets that I don't need to know. And the unsent letter is safe in the dark. No need for my fingers to leave any mark. I don't need to open the book of your past to know that the love that we have is gonna last. I don't need to know all the ghosts in your head to know I wanna hold you in our wooden bed. I walk down the hallway, the house is so still. The moon is just hanging above the east hill. I see you asleep with the blanket pulled tight, with your face looking soft in the pale silver light. You look so peaceful, so out of the storm, with the cedar logs keeping the bedroom warm. And the unsent letter is safe in the dark. No need for my fingers to leave any mark. I don't need to open the book of your past to know that the love that we have is gonna last. I don't need to know all the ghosts in your head to know I wanna hold you in our wooden bed. We all have our trunks filled with old memories of the people we loved and the cold winter breeze. You don't have to give me the keys to the lock or tell me the secrets of the grandfather clock. I love you for who you you are standing right here, with the dust of the highway all washed and clear. So let the old letter just sleep in the desk. We both have our folders where the old stories rest. I don't need to open the book of your past to know that the love that we have is gonna last. I don't need to know all the ghosts in your head to know I wanna hold you in our wooden bed. The sun has gone down past the edge of the hill, and the wind in the chimney is quiet and still. You're sitting beside me on the old leather chair, with the weight of the week in your eyes and your hair. I see you try to stay awake for my sake, but the boundaries of your spirit are starting to break. The bills are unpaid and the family is stressed, and your mind hasn't given you a moment of rest. You've been holding the walls up for such a long time, with the mountain of worry that you had to climb. So let the world spin, let the night take the lead, and give yourself the quiet that you so deeply need. In the weight of your head on my shoulder tonight is the easiest burden, the warmest in light. I watch the horizon, I watch the dark sky. I keep the shadows from coming tonight. So close your eyes, let the heavy thoughts go. I'll stand the watch for the two of us. Slow, I feel you breathing, slow down in the dark. The fireplace is dying to a single red spark. The house is settling, creaking its wood, and I wouldn't change this place even if I could. You're safe in this corner, you're safe in my arms, away from the noise in the world and the harm. And the weight of your head on my shoulder tonight is the easiest burden, the warmest in light. I watch the horizon, I watch the dark sky. I'll keep the shadows from coming tonight. So close your eyes, let the heavy thoughts go. I'll stand the watch for the two of us. Slow, we spend so many hours trying to be strong, carrying the wagon as we roll along. But even the watchman must lay down his head and trust in the keeper of the wooden bed. I got the wheel, I got the night under control. So sleep till the morning has restored your soul. Yeah, the weight of your head on my shoulder is peace, watching the troubles of the evening cease. I watch the horizon, I watch the dark sky. I'll keep the shadows from coming tonight. So close your eyes, let the heavy thoughts go. I'll stand the watch for the two of us. Slow, starts to set, and the wood on the threshold is heavy and wet. Your boots are sitting right next to my own, with the leather all cracked and the heels worn to bone. They're covered in clay from the lower field drain, and the salt of the sweat and the gray autumn rain. I look at those boots and I think of the years we spent on this land, with our hopes and our fears. The summer of drought when the well started dry, and the winter the storm took the roof to the sky. We didn't have much but the strength of our backs, and the path that we made through the cedar tracks. And I want our boots by the entry door, sitting together on the cedar floor. They tell the whole story of the life we have made, of the work in the sun and the rest in the shade. We built this home one hard day at a time, with a hill that was steep for our spirits to climb. You walk in the room with a basket of wood. Your jacket is damp, but your smile is still good. You drop the logs down with a heavy oak sound, and you kick off your shoes on the newspaper ground. You look at my boots and you give me a nod. Two workers who survived on a hard piece of sod. And I want our boots by the entry door, sitting together on the cedar floor. They tell the whole story of the life we've made, of the work in the sun and the rest in the shade. We built this home one hard day at a time, with a hill that was steep for our spirits to climb. Some people want rings made of silver and gold that sit in a box and never grow old. But I'd rather have these cracked leather soles that'll walk through the fire and the cold winter colds. They show where we've been and they show what we stood through the dirt of the field and the clean of the wood. Yeah, I want our boots by the entry door, sitting together on the cedar floor. They tell the whole story of the life we have made, of the work in the sun and the rest in the shade. We built this home one hard day at a time, and we're still standing strong at the end of the climb.